A wonderful good morning to you at home. I am Manila Baptiste. I'll be hosting the morning show this morning. Now we're going to hear from our news desk. What's the newest updates?
Good morning. Housing Minister Richard Frederick has responded to accusations of political victimization involving the National Housing Corporation, the NHC, and the family of Lincoln Skinny Maynard. He clarified that the NHC's actions, which led to the widow being locked in the apartment, were in line with policy and not politically motivated, despite claims from the United Workers' Party.
NHC cannot permit itself to be entangled in legal wranglings or family feud. So we have to do what we have to do. Now, that protocol about taking possession, has been in place long before Richard Frederick was ever Minister of Housing. And like I said, Skinny's case is no different, has not been treated differently from any other case. Shasney was Prime Minister. He could have changed the protocol and say, okay, don't take possession, let the people stay for 3 or 4 months. When lawsuits start to fly helter-skelter, who is going to pay?
The housing minister denied any attempts by the NHC to victimize the family of the late Maynard, clarifying that he and the deceased were not on bad terms despite their differing political views. St. Lucia welcomed the second leg of the Eastern Caribbean Challenge, a 6-marathon series spanning the region featuring 35 competitors from around the globe. After completing the scenic race at Beauséjour in Gros-Islet, the athletes, including world record holders and seasoned marathoners, engaged with young talent from St. Lucia's Sports Academy, inspiring the next generation of runners.
We are all part of the Marathon Globetrotters, so the runners' aim is to run a marathon in as many countries as they can. Now, we've got runners here who've completed a marathon in over 150 countries. Some have done 174. There's some others who've done about 150, 160. So our aim is to, run in as many countries as we can.
The first stop for the runners was Guadeloupe. The next marathon will take place in Barbados, then Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and finally in Martinique, where the final race will take place on Saturday. The event was held in collaboration with the Ministries of Tourism and the Youth Development and Sports. Now, as St. Lucia enters the second month of the 2025 dry season, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development is urging the public to implement water storage and management measures. The dry season, which typically runs from December to May, can experience varying degrees of rainfall deficits. Residents are advised to increase water storage capacity according to household or business size, frequency of water use, and potential service disruptions by WASCO. The ministry also highlights rainwater harvesting as a valuable supplemental water source, noting its year-round benefits. With changing weather patterns, building resilience in water supply systems is crucial, the ministry says. Citizens are also encouraged to monitor weekly weather forecasts to better manage their water usage. Saturday was World Braille Day, and the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association is pushing for broader Braille education, advocating not only for those already blind or partially sighted, but also for individuals at risk of vision loss.
He thought, well, look, if sighted children can read, there must be an easier way for blind children to read. Because in those days, they were trying to teach blind people how to read raised print, and it was extremely challenging. So somebody introduced him to some code system during one of the wars that someone had devised to try and send coded messages, and it was like little dots. When he touched that system, he says, well, look, bang, bingo, I must find a way to turn this into a writing system for blind children like me. And he started working on this, and by the time when he was about 15 years old, he completed the original Braille alphabet.
The organization is also working on a mapping project to improve accessibility for the visually impaired across St. Lucia. That's your news summary. Thanks for watching.
Thank you to our news team, and we will be right back. Bringing you guys some health tips, as I know many of you guys have your New Year's resolutions and you're looking to live fresh and start this new year off with something a little bit different. Well, hello Candy, thanks for being back on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, the holiday season has just ended and we've been eating a lot of unhealthy foods this season. So we'd love if you could give us some tips on cleaning up.
Okay, so I don't think we should blame the holiday season for things that we've been doing year round. I recently had our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar, on The Wellness, which will be premiering soon. Shameless plug for this season. And she spoke to the ridiculously high percentage of lifestyle diseases that we suffer from in this country, things that are totally preventable, things that we can control through the way we live our lives, the things that we eat, how we move or not move, how we manage our stress, and things that are for the most part, totally within our control. But I know what you mean. During the holiday season, we really take it up a few notches, and we use the holiday season as an excuse to indulge and overeat.
Definitely. I think I might have eaten a whole ham this holiday season.
Oh my goodness. So that actually will bring me to one of the things that I want to address and want to look at very closely with the new season of The Wellness. And that is something our parents used to do, our grandparents used to do, but we seem to have lost along the way. And that is the whole concept of parasite cleansing. And we know pork is one of the carriers of one. Not to burst your bubble. You'll be fine. I'll tell you what to do and how to do it. But parasite cleansing is something that is connected to a whole host of issues that we suffer with that I don't think we realize. And we've lost, I'll call it an art. I'm sure back in the day, I don't know how old you are, but you look like you may have just been able to board this last train of cleansing. You did? Cleansing.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
cleansing.
Your colon cleanses, and there's this pill that you take, the parasite cleanser.
Oh, good. So I know a lot of younger people who did not experience that. And it's an art that we're losing, which I'm glad, that it's sort of coming back because people are becoming more aware of parasite cleansing. So the thinking about parasites, our exposure to it, and their effects on our overall health is something that I think that we should be talking about a lot more. Another thing as well is, and this was a statistic that was told to me by someone from the Ministry of Health recently as well, where there is a direct correlation between the introduction of all of these fast food joints and the increase in certain diseases. So we are definitely eating way more processed foods than we ever have. And I don't mean to demonize any one class of foods, but the reality is, and it's a reality that we cannot escape from, that we are eating way too many processed foods and not balancing it off with proper hydration. And this is a whole other topic. And you note I didn't say drinking water, because you can drink water until you're blue in the face and not be hydrated because the water doesn't contain the minerals to allow it to get into your cells. So we're not hydrating properly. A lot of us, we're not cleansing, we're not eating foods in their natural whole form, so we're not getting the enzymes that we need to digest our foods properly. That causes a backup in our colon. We're drinking way, way, way too much alcohol. And again, that's not who doesn't love a little drink every now and then? But again, in conversations that I've had as I interview experts for the show and otherwise, we're drinking way too much. And on top of that, we're not doing things to support our liver and our other organs. So we're really doing untold damage to our systems. And again, this is not to shame anyone. This is just to bring awareness to the fact that there are things that we can do to control how and if we get certain diseases. And that's not to say anyone's perfect. I'm not perfect. I have certain health situations that I contend with daily, but I manage them because I know how to implement certain lifestyle.
Yeah, it's not to burst anyone's bubble. You know, if we don't know how to fix it and how to change ourselves. So thank you for letting us know that what we're doing is wrong.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But going into the new year, so I'm gonna give you like a list. Which will be a recapitulation of some of the things I've already said. So, parasite cleansing is one of the things that I'm going to put on top of that list. Proper hydration, um, eating more whole foods. And that's not to say that I expect everybody to not eat any processed foods at all, but let there be a better balance, a better ratio of processed to unprocessed, until you eventually crowd out the processed foods and have more. Crowd out the unprocessed foods, sorry, and eat more unprocessed whole foods.
And what does that ratio look like?
I obviously, all things being equal, in an ideal world, we would eat 100% unprocessed foods, foods in the natural whole form as nature intended. But if it is a situation where you are having 90% processed foods and 10% real foods, and you bring that down to 60-40, and then eventually 50-50, and then eventually 30-70, until you get as close as possible to more whole foods than not. Then again, I think we need to meet people where they are. I see a lot of nutritionists or people who are into health coaching shame people into doing better, and I honestly don't think that that's the way to go, because there are a lot of people who don't know better and who don't know they don't know better. They don't know that there's a different way to be or to do or to have. So I think we need to meet people where they are. So if you are, for instance, a vegan, you could be vegan or vegetarian and absolutely be eating less nourishing foods than someone who eats meat but who also eats a lot of salads and a lot of fruit. So I don't think any one pattern of eating should be demonized. If you're someone and you come to me as a health coach and you say, I want to do better, I would obviously want to know what your dietary preferences are and help you to create a plan around what the most ideal version of that dietary preference is. So if you're going to be a vegan, because Oreos are vegan, believe it or not, Oreos
Definitely.
Oreos are vegan. But do you want to be eating Oreos all day, every day? Absolutely
Yes,
not.
I know some vegans that are eating fried tofu every day.
Exactly. So I think that whatever your dietary preferences are, we just need to talk about what the best and healthiest and most nourishing version of that looks like for you, and then take it from there.
Okay, well, thank you, Candy, for joining us this morning and giving us those wonderful tips that we very well needed and might not know that we needed.
Yes, and there'll be more tips on the wellness when we premiere later this month. Thank you for another shameless plug. Thank you for having me.
We had the pleasure of meeting with our St. Lucian born Matilda James, who has reached the age of 100 years old yesterday. So she's going to be giving us some tips on how to live as long as her and also a little insight into her life. I'm here with Matilda James, who yesterday turned 100. So yesterday was your 100th birthday, Matilda.
Yes.
Well, I would love to say that today yesterday you turned 100, but you don't look it at all, I must say.
True. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yes, you have to share some tips with us and how you manage to take care of yourself for so long so the viewers can hopefully, and me as well, live as long as you have and furthermore.
I didn't spend much of my youth in St. Lucia. I got married very young, and we went to Curacao. And that is where I spent most of my young days.
Oh, in Curacao. Okay, I have a friend from Aruba. So have you been to Aruba at all as well?
Yes, I saw. Aruba was just next door. We went there, but not to see. I stayed in Curacao.
Okay.
I had 4 children born in Curacao.
Okay, 4 children. And do you have any grandchildren or great-grandchildren?
I have a grand and great grand. Yes, the whole family is right there. I'm so happy to have them all. But my sibling self was four. Four. There's no mom, one girl. One girl and three boys.
You had 20 siblings, Matilda.
Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm glad that your sisters are still here with you and they're celebrating. So you need to give us a little bit of tips so we know how we can stay as young as you.
I'm not young. I'm not young.
Okay. Did you do anything in particular? Healthy eating? What's that secret?
I was a seamstress. And I saw, I was a seamstress in St. Lucia. And then migrated to Curacao, and there I did most of my seamstress.
Okay, so you were a seamstress by profession. And was that your only career?
Yes, that was my only career.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you sew in perfectly. If St. Lucia wants you to make a dress for them, you'll make a dress.
Yes, I could. I think I could. I think I could still cut. Yes, I think I could.
Okay, wonderful. And how was the birthday celebration? How did that go?
Go, very good, very good. I was surprised to see the amount of people and things. So I was surprised. So I joined in it too.
So you had a wonderful birthday party.
Wonderful day. And to reach 100 years? Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. So you have accomplished this. We're very, very proud of you.
Very, very, very proud.
St. Lucia, is Big Bweelz here again for next episode, and I'm targeting certain people. Right now, this episode is for people that have steps at their home. Yes, you all want to walk up the steps, wax on, wax off. But now, I'm going to show you all how to use your steps to turn you all into Terminators and fit machines. Right, so today this episode is for y'all, whether you have steps inside your house or outside your house. We're going to get it popping, jumping, lunging, and skipping right here. Let's go. Good morning. So the first exercise we're going to do on your steps, we're going to stretch out the legs. So you're going to come up with on our toes, 1, 2, and up. We're hitting the calves, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go. Up. Up. And when you're on your last step, you're going for 20. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, it's not my fault if you have a spiral at your home. It's not my fault if you have 500 steps at your home. You put it there. Let's make use of it. So, as soon as you finish the warm-up or the first exercise, we jog back down the steps. So, if the first exercise is 3 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 50 steps, whatever you have, you get it done. The second exercise, we're going to do some jump squats on the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. On the last step, you pulse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we get it done. When you execute your 3 sets, you jog down again. If you get tired, you're going up the steps, we're going to lunge it. 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, and down. That's how I get a lunge done. It's quite nice for me. I don't have much steps to lunge, but I'm just showing you how you can get it done. Heading back down. The next exercise, out and in. You go, 1, squat down, boom, down, touch, 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 touch. It's quite obvious you guys better have more space than me, but you're catching the drift while I'm catching my breath. All right, you get it done? Run back down the steps. Whew. I need to catch my breath. That's where blue waters come into play. I need, I need my blue waters. Douglas, I need my stamina. Douglas from Blue Waters. That's what I say. All right. Last but not least, because when you do these step exercises, you're going to burn. You're going to burn. I don't care how fit you are, as long as you St. Lucian, you're going to burn. Because you'll pork too much. So last but not least, we're going to jump squat and pulse on it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maintain your balance. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4. Bweels is about to fall at the door. I'm going to bed right now. Good morning. See?
Thank you for joining us on this morning's show. I hope you guys learned a lot of valuable information and also had a little fun with Matilda in celebrating her life. Well, we have come to the end, but don't worry, there will be way more tomorrow.